Myanmar together with all Myanmar Buddhist devotees. Brigadier General Tuyam Myanmar, Minister, Ministry of Religious Affairs, Yangon, Myanmar.
Mahanayaka of Abhiya Rama Shwebu Monastery, Mandalay, Union of Mahanayaka Dhammananda Vihara, Hamombe, Shwejin Nikaya Ratinji, Mahanayaka, and Sangha, Nayaka of the International Missionary of Shwejin Nikaya. Egama Bandita, Egama Sadma, Jyotika Daja, Abhidaja Egama Sadma Jyotika, Honorary Delete. Badanda Dauda Silananda Bimusa, 78 years, 58 Wasas, passed away on Saturday, August 13th, 2005. It is 7:24 a.m. in Kaiser Hospital, South San Francisco, California. Sangha orders this Dhamma message of urgency to be conveyed for records. Daharaja Mandaja Yebalaja Yebala Yija Bandita Sabe Maju Wasayandi Sabe Maju Parayana. The young and the old, the foolish and the wise must all face death. Mahawusau Dharma, the Monastery Mandalay, Union of Myanmar.
Condolence from Ministry of Religious Affairs, International Theravada Buddhist Missionary University, Yangon, Myanmar. The prorectors, the deans, professors, students, and staff are shocked in the grief at the news of passing away of Sharo Dr. Silananda Biwangsa, the rector of the International Theravada Buddhist Missionary University, Myanmar. His passing away is a great loss, which cannot be replaced for the university, the countries, as well as all international Buddhist community. At this sad moment, we share the grief of the great loss, together with the Sharos yogis, disciples, devotees, relatives, and the international Dhamma friends, who uphold the teaching of his compassion, love, and wisdom. This message is conveyed by Prorector Academic, Deans, Professors, Prorectors Admin, students of staff of International Theravada Buddhist Missionary University, Yangon, Myanmar.
Letter of condolence from Mahasi Meditation Center, Yangon, Myanmar. For Honorable Sarah, Dr. Silananda Biwangsa, Honorary Sarah, Spiritual Director of Mahasi Meditation Center, Yangon. Aga Mahasalama Jodika, Dr. Silananda Biwangsa, Dhammananda Vihara, Hamombe Monastery, Mahathira at Lim passed away on 25th Saturday at 7:24 p.m. in the USA. Venerable Sarah Silananda Biwangsa is one of the brilliant stars among the galaxy of intellectuals and the hierarchy of Buddhist priests, and also an outstanding figure among Mahasi Sarah's disciples who had been sent abroad on Dhamma Yuddha religious missions. We all are very much depressed for Sarah's demise and a great loss for our organization. Mahasi Orachia Sarah, Nayaka Saros, Buddha Sasana Muka Organization, PTC Organization, women devotees organization. At the same time, I would like to say a few.
Most venerable Sangha members, dear friends, behalf of Sri Lanka and Sri Lankan Sangha members, we would like to convey our condolence. Venerable Usilananda was one of my teachers too. When he arrived to USA 1979, I met him in Los Angeles, our Zen Center. Since then we developed our friendship. Venerable Usilananda lived in Washington DC, our temple. Our Sri Lankan monk could sponsor him to stay this country. Also, Venerable Usilananda lived in Sri Lanka. One of my teachers, Venerable Ananda Maitreya, was his teacher too. So Sri Lanka, in fact, he speaks Sinhalese very well. I want to share one small story. One day, one of our senior monks, Washington DC, Venerable Vikkala Piyananda, Venerable Gunaratana, and Venerable Usilananda went to Burmese house for Dana ceremony. Driver was a Burmese gentleman. Then Piyananda started criticizing Sri Lanka. At that time had a lot of conversion, Christian conversion. He started criticizing that. Then the driver was a Burmese Christian person. Usilananda knew Sinhalese very well. Therefore, he told in Sinhalese language, says, this Me Mahatma Bauddhek Nove. It means this person is not Buddhist, therefore. Then after that, our Venerable Piyananda started different ways, started talk. That's such a very wise monk was our Bhante Usilananda. Usilananda was very fond of path of purification. In that path of purification has a wonderful poems. Says Piyocha Garu Bhavaniyo Vattacha Vatanakramo Gambirancha Kathan Katva Yotanathani Nyoje. According to this Buddhist saying, a great personality should have a pleasant countenance. All these qualities were embodiment with Venerable Usilananda. On behalf of Sri Lankan Sangha Council of America and Canada, we wish to express our condolence to the family and friends of the Venerable Usilananda and Burmese community. Especially before I came here, I happened to talk to our Sri Lankan Prime Minister, Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa. He asked me to give his condolence to behalf of the country. Thank you so much.
I first met Venerable Usilananda in 1985. When I first met him, I was much attracted to Buddhism, but knew nothing about Theravada Buddhism. Now, today, looking back 20 years, I realize that meeting him was the single most important thing that happened in my life. I found in Venerable Usilananda a living example of virtue and integrity. So strong was his example of virtue and integrity that as time went by, I drew closer and closer to him. At that time, I was 30 years old, and I felt so happy. My search my spiritual search was over, I had found not only the Buddha's teachings, but also a dear spiritual father who was a living example of the Buddha's teachings. Venerable U Silananda was a rare example of both unmatched scholarship on the Buddhist texts and an unremitting commitment to the practice of meditation. But because he was so self-effacing, it took me many, many years to measure how deep and thorough was his knowledge of the Buddha Dhamma.
TBSA, I would like to offer my heartfelt thanks to all of you, especially those who have come from far, for taking your precious time to pay last respects to our beloved mentor, Dhamma teacher, meditation master, and the most venerable Sayadaw U Silana Idamsa. The time allotted for my thank you speech is not enough to list all the individuals and organizations that have supported Sayadaw in his sadhana work and in his health crisis. Due to the law of karma, Sayadaw despises wholesome deeds in the present life, suffered a minor stroke a few years back, and a terminal brain tumor a few months ago. Sayadaw was loved and cherished not only by his devotees worldwide, but also by others, religious teachers and scholars as well. Medical doctors from Myanmar and US, including numerous specialists, not only visited and attended Sayadaw in person, but also offered invaluable advice in person, by phone, and by email. The staff of NA in the Bay Area and beyond, thank you.
On behalf of Sayadaw families in Myanmar, it is with special gratitude for me to express my heartfelt sorrow on the death of my uncle, Venerable Sayadaw U Silananda. Blood tests, those specialist doctor from Kaiser Hospital, and my experience and observation, I understood and realized that Sayadaw's health condition was getting worse with multi-organ such as stomach, liver, kidneys failure for the last 5 days before my arrival. Sayadaw's passing away is a great loss, not only to Sayadaw's family in Myanmar, but members of Theravada Buddhist Society of America did during Sayadaw's illness. I have to acknowledge as well all of attending specialists, resident doctors, nurses, technicians, and hospital staffs from Kaiser Hospital for their kindness treatments respectfully to Sayadaw during his hospitalization. In conclusion,